After enough years in relationships, you stop asking yourself, am I happy? And start asking things like, am I too much? Am I hard work? Am I manageable? And you don't even realize it's happening until one day you look at yourself and you've basically built your whole personality around keeping the peace. I did that for years. And lately, I've been realizing just how much of myself disappeared inside that. Because nobody comes into your life and says, hey, over the next few years, I'm going to make you feel smaller. That's not how it happens. It's much harder to spot than that. It's the little things. It's that look on their face when you get too excited over something. It's that weird shift in energy when you're just being warm with other people. It's that joke about you being a bit much. That comment about your laugh. And none of it even feels controlling at the time. You just slowly start learning what version of you goes down well and what version doesn't. And if you're someone who reads people well, and let's be honest, a lot of women do, you just start adjusting without even realizing it. You apologize more. You try and smooth things over all the time. You start checking people's faces while you're talking. You're halfway through a story and suddenly you become really aware of yourself. How loud you are, how much you're talking. And you just pull back. And after a while, it becomes so normal, you don't even realize you're doing it anymore. Looking back now, I don't even think it was the big obvious moments that changed me most. It was the editing, really. Just constantly adjusting myself without me even realizing I was doing it. I remember being at this market in London once. There was this African band playing and we were all just sat there watching them. And at one point, I just stood up and went, woohoo! As you do. I don't know, I was just happy. The music hit somewhere within me and I just reacted to it. And the person I was with snapped at me straight away. Like, come on, we're leaving. And I remember following him thinking, fuck, what did I do? So we got outside and we started arguing. Like I was pushing back. I wasn't just standing there silently taking it. And I remember him saying something like, do you realize how that looked? Like I'd embarrassed him somehow. Like I'd done something inappropriate. And I felt it immediately. That horrible wave of shame. Like my face got all warm. And I remember thinking, maybe I was too much. But the thing is, I did push back. Like I didn't just stay silent. We argued properly. And yet that night, alone, I started replaying the whole thing in my head, wondering if maybe he was right. Maybe I did need to tone it down a bit. Maybe I came across too loose, too available, because that's basically how he meant it. And I think that's where the real shrinking happened, actually. Not while we were arguing, afterwards. When I was alone in my own head trying to work out if I'd done something wrong by just expressing joy naturally for 5 seconds. Because even though I fought back in the moment, afterwards, I started taking his side against myself. And I genuinely thought I was being mature when I did that. Like I was being understanding, I was being respectful, fair. That's the crazy part. And it didn't just happen once either, it kept happening in different ways than that. Different versions of the same thing. And none of it ever really got resolved. It just slowly became a part of me. And without meaning to, I became more careful with my own joy. And there's this other moment I still think about sometimes, actually. I was in a park waiting for him, just lying out there in the sun, legs out, shades on, basically half asleep on the grass. And my skirt had ridden up a little bit. Not even that much, honestly, just above my knees. And suddenly, I felt this hand reach over and pull it down. And that was it. Nothing said. No conversation. Just a hand quietly rearranging me. And me letting it happen. I didn't say anything. I just let it happen. And I think that tiny moment probably explains this whole video better than anything else I could say. I kept thinking about that moment with the skirt afterwards because on the surface, it didn't even look like a big deal. But that's exactly the point. It was tiny. And yet, I remember not liking it when it happened. Like, no, I don't like that. But I still just let it happen. And afterwards, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Why did something that small make me feel so violated? Why did I accept it so easily? And I think that question opened something up in me, actually, because it forced me to admit something that I really didn't want to admit. The reason I kept making myself smaller in relationships wasn't just because of the men themselves. Some of it was me too. I was genuinely afraid of being seen. Because if you keep editing yourself slightly, if you keep toning yourself down, becoming easier to deal with, and someone still leaves anyway, there's almost something weirdly safer about that. Because then you can tell yourself, well, they never really knew me, the full me. Whereas if you show up fully as yourself, fully open, fully expressive, fully honest, and somebody still can't love you properly, that sucks. That feels really personal, doesn't it? And Truthfully, I think that was the deeper fear for me. Not being abandoned, but being exposed. I think part of me thought I had to be slightly less me for love to work. And I know I'm not the only woman who's ever done that. Even women who've already left relationships like that still do it sometimes. Because these things stay in your body for a really long time. You still catch yourself checking the room. You still apologize too quickly. You still hold yourself back without even realizing you're doing it. And if you're watching this while you're still in a relationship like that, I'm genuinely not here to tell you what to do. But I do want to ask you something. When was the last time you laughed without checking his face first? Like, really laughed? Because when I realized I'd stopped doing that, it hit me pretty hard. I realized I couldn't even relax naturally around somebody who was supposed to love me constantly. Like, what kind of crap is that? That's not love. That's management. And I'll tell you something else. Living at full size again actually feels really strange at first because your body gets so used to being careful that fully relaxing almost feels wrong. Like you laugh loudly and you have to brace yourself for the reaction. You say exactly what you think and you wait for the withdrawal. You fully relax around somebody and almost expect to be corrected somehow. And slowly, your body catches up. Not overnight, not through one huge breakthrough moment, just slowly. You realize you don't actually need permission to exist exactly as you are. I'm there now, mostly, enough to know the difference. And I think that shift has less to do with finally finding the right person and more to do with finally stopping abandoning yourself. And if you've spent years feeling like you needed to become smaller, quieter, easier to love, I really want you to hear me on this. The people who genuinely love you will not require your disappearance in order to stay. They won't make you feel like your joy needs managing or your personality needs muting. And if you've gone for a very long time without that kind of space, start by giving it to yourself. Maybe the real turning point is the moment you stop asking, how do I make myself easier to love? And start asking, why did I believe love required me to disappear in the first place? You were never too much.